Hey there, folks. Adam here with Brennan. We are going live to
Hey,
talk about these storms. And let me just flip right to radar because how you doing, Brennan? By the way, you doing good?
good.
Cool.
All
There's
ready
lots
to
of
go.
rotation going on right now. Sorry, say that again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all ready to go.
Yeah, awesome. And a new microphone. That sounds great, man. There's rotation
Mm-hmm.
pretty strong over Lake Erie, just south of Port Stanley, and some rotation actually in that area right now. And there's actually multiple areas of rotation right now, so we certainly have to go live. You can see this right here, east of Rodney. We posted about this rotation here near Port Stanley. I believe was within our notification of rotation from the St. Thomas area. It looks like there's some rotation east of London as well too. Like there's a lot of embedded little spots, and there's this the north side of it here. Dr. Sills has been posting about as well. I don't know if you want to bring up his tweets, but he's mentioned that there's some QLCS tornado risk here
Yeah, I can
in
look
the
to see if I
Tavistock.
can find it.
Yeah, pretty please. Yeah, he's been mentioning there's this is QLCS risk with which is QLCS tornadoes are embedded within like the front of the line or potentially within a bookend vortex at the top side. Bookend vortex would be more of a classic supercell, but you can have these kind of hybrid tornadoes that get built into the line here. So yeah, so it's something we have to constantly keep an eye on here. Let me go back down to tilt one because I think tilt one is actually even more prevalent. Yeah, so it's hard to really see here. It's not your classic look to kind of green versus red rotation when we're looking at velocity wind radar. But yeah, this line that's moving east into the Woodstock areas is bringing probably some pretty darn strong winds. And then we have this rotation down here. Oh, hello. This might have been a new
Here's his
update.
tweet.
Whoa. I got to post about that right now. Oh, that's his tweet right there. Can you read it for a second
Yeah.
while I post about?
So Dr. Sills is saying this is also looking a tad ominous. At least three currently weak mesocyclones along the leading edge of the northern line, and he's talking about the one that's just outside of Stratford. That was about 21 minutes ago.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm
I'm going to let's see if this will work here. Plug an update. Okay, I'm going to post a rotation here because this is tilt one looks pretty darn strong right near New Glasgow, Churchville, New Glasgow Eagle, just about to head over to the water. So I'm going to post about that really quick. I know it's only a tiny little polygon just for those in that area, but it's still worth mentioning because it really kind of just strengthened right there. So I'm going to go orange, and I'm going to go rotation detected on the storm near New Glasgow. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, tracking east towards Lake Erie. What time is it right now? It's 5:22, and clickety. Not many folks in that tiny little polygon, 55 there, but still worth giving a heads up here. So sent that to them, and they would have got that notification right now. So yeah, seeing some rotation there for sure. On if we go back to radar here, you can really see it on tilt one here, right? And it's right coinciding with that hook. So that's probably the most prevalent on radar right now. There was this interesting signature near Port Stanley. Might have been a water spout over the water there, and then there's that line that again Dr. Sills has been talking about. So. Whoa, that was a bit of action on the start of the live stream here, and there's a billion comments. Just want to say hi to everybody. Hello in the comments. Hi, and I'll do a smiley face. There we go. Everybody should see that. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Hope everybody. It's New Glasgow. I love the the community team pronunciation.
They're already
Here we
doing
have.
this.
They're already doing. I know it didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name there, but it's New Glasgow. Gary says. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. New Glasgow. Megan says, appreciate your sense of urgency, guys. Packing with action already. That was hi Brenda, how are you doing? Hi Sa, how are we doing? Crystal, Rhonda, Emily, Herbie. So just peeking at radar here. It's certainly looking interesting. Doesn't look as strong from King, but King's quite a distance away. But yeah, that rotation right there over
be some wind risk for sure.
For sure. And then like I mean this is probably the most prevalent couplet we've seen today. I think so. And like perfect position versus the structure of the storm. So and then look at this over here now. I think this might be a water spout. Is this gonna head back on land? There's definitely water spout risk right here. Which way is it going? Let me hit play here, because if it's going
It's kind of like just tracking along the coast,
right
like the
along,
shoreline.
yeah. If
I
it
would be
could bend
worried about
potentially,
those in Port Burwell, Bruce.
yeah, for sure. Gravesend, Vienna. If this couplet comes back onto shore as it tracks east, that could potentially, I mean, it could bring a water spout onto shore if there's a water spout being produced. But it looks like it's a pretty good little couplet there. That's interesting. I think I probably want to notify that one too, because that just kind of popped up, and I don't think I've posted east of those areas right now. So give me 1 second here, and I'll just pull up the latest radar.
Yeah. While you do that, I'll just bring up the latest severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada, just to show the areas that we're watching. So the locations impacted right now were just London, so that warning needs to be updated, I believe, so because it's past London now. And St. Thomas, which is being affected right now, Woodstock, Rodney, Elmer, and Ingersoll. And that's for 90-kilometer-hour wind gusts and heavy rainfall.
Thanks, Brennan. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Here's the let me see what you've got on. Oh, you still got the alerts on screen. Okay, so you can see in my little square in the background. Oh, Brendan switched it. It's all good. I was just going to show this area again. So it could be possible water spout over the water here, and it's areas to the east that are concerned. I'm going to go all, just in case it decides to randomly go southeast. I'm just going to try to do somewhat of a good range of distance here, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go minor rotation on this one. Posted like so many minor rotations yesterday. I don't know if anything touched down, but there was just rotation in so many different locations yesterday, and it was all very, very soft. But some of the times, obviously minor rotation, the majority of the time there isn't a tornado that touches down, but we'd like to give the heads up on it, because sometimes we post minor rotation and then we post strong rotation, and then we're into tornado potential, and then you start to see tornado warnings come out and all that kind of stuff, and things gradually go from weak to strong. So when they're weak, we like to mention them, even if the majority of the time these minors turn into nothing. But in this particular case, we detected minor rotation on the storm. Where is it? South of, let's go southeast of Port Stanley. Currently just offshore, tracking to the east, and it may have the potential to produce a water spout or move on land. Inland, on land, inland. I like inland better. I don't think on land's a word. Okay. 527. Here we go. Looks good. Clickety, clickety, clackety, clack, and send to the 373 folks in the path. Okay. Good. All right. So we've got that done. This is, let me just make sure we've got our latest radar update. Still seeing that pretty prevalent rotation to the southwest. That is that
There's
tiny little polygon
signature just south of Kitchener.
Oh yeah. So okay, let me just touch on these really quick. Two
like
mesocyclones. Two mesocyclones right here on this storm. That was the New Glasgow, Churchville, Eagle, and potentially heading over the water. So 2 areas of rotation there. The latest Exeter might have. Oh, we're on tilt 2. 1 sec. Let me go back to tilt 1 here. Which should actually. Oh yeah, look at this. If that's not going to produce a water spout, I'd be surprised. Strong rotation heading into Lake Erie there. Now it looks like what we just posted about may have fizzled over the water, heading towards Port Burwell and Hemlock as well too. So that would be good news for those areas. Sorry, what were you saying? Near Kitchener?
South of Kitchener.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just south. That area. Yeah.
The New Dundee area. Yeah, in here. Yeah, these. So this
if you
is
look
what
at radar, it kind of lines up with radar too.
Oh, you mean if you look at reflectivity? Yeah, for sure. Definitely, it's definitely in the right spot. And again, this is what Dr. Sills was worried about as far as some QLC risk. So tiny little rotation notches that don't seem to stand out huge, but because of this type of storm in the environment, you can have these little kinks in the line, and within them is a little rotation spin up, and sometimes you can have those He talks about it a lot too. You can have hybrid tornadoes where it's kind of it's a hybrid between a land spout and a QLCS, and you know, it just there's a big mix in there of conditions. And sometimes, you know, if you get kind of the right conditions that come together and connect, you can have you know, what may potentially be just a land spout, but it's kind of connecting up into the mesocyclone. So it's just the right timing and the right placement of all those things coming together that we can have these little spin ups on the front of the lines. And that's why, you know, like last year? Was it 42 or 46 tornadoes in 2021, something like that? I think it might have been. I think Liam said it was 46, which is ridiculous. But anyways, so, and a lot of those are these brief little on the edge of the line, these QLCS, these land spouts. Land spouts are all next to impossible to see rotation on radar. But with QLCS and with classic supercells, then we can have you can have a rotation couplet. So yeah, so there's a lot in that sentence. I my whole life I've been trying to learn how to slow down when I'm excited and talking, because usually I speed up, which isn't necessarily the best approach. So I'm working on it. I mean, when it comes to like, oh, that's weird, KBuff isn't working. When it comes to typing, it's usually a good thing that I'm typing faster. Most people appreciate that the typing is faster. But when it comes to speaking, that's where you have to switch it up. Here is your passing future radar from our app Instant Weather. If you have not downloaded it yet, please do so. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. And just trying to take a look into the future of where we might see these storms go as they track. Let me just zoom this out slightly so we can get Cornwall in there on the far right. And yeah, so this is what we might be seeing here. Oh, that's good. Let me just go back to the home page and back to live radar. Make sure we have the latest data for one, and fix that animation slightly. Side note: folks have been a few folks on iPhones have been having a white screen when they open up the app. So if that ever happens, just, you know, swipe up slightly, kill the app by swiping it away. Or if you have the little button at the bottom, double click the button and then swipe the app away, and then just jump back into the app and it's fine. So it seems to be a weird little intermittent issue for some iPhone users. So if you do have that issue, yeah, just kill the app, come back to it. You don't have to reinstall and all that kind of stuff. The fix seems to be just reloading the app. So our apologies for that. Working on a fix for it. So, Brendan, have you seen that issue at all? I haven't seen that issue once, but Teresa's told me that there's been a few reports in the group on different devices. No. But on my iPad on the phone, I haven't seen it once. So I don't know. These intermittent issues are tricky. Some device, like, it's weird when there's an issue on like an iPhone 10, for example, but there's no issue on iPhone 10s for other people. So it's only like some of the iPhones, like maybe it has to do with if they've upgraded their iOS or that type of thing.
It's probably more prevalent on like older iPhones because less tech involved.
Yeah, perhaps, and then, you know, especially if they're not supporting updates anymore, like for. I think it's iPhone 7 is the oldest they do now. That's probably moving up to iPhone 8, where they're only going to, maybe iOS 16 is only going to be supported in iPhone 8. But anyways, yeah, we're getting deep into the weeds on the tech stuff here. The rotation is now way stronger over the water. Let me just jump into that. This is just east of New Glasgow.
Oh yeah,
New Glasgow. Yeah, east of Eagle, south of Duttona. Duttona, Duttona, Duttona. One of those options has a chance to be correct. But anyways, this rotation is moving to the east here, and but yeah, what we saw up there near Port Bruce is actually weakened quite a bit. So that's good news for the folks there. So if you did get that notification, probably gonna wait one more frame and then I'll scrap it from the app, because it looks like. It has weakened, but this has certainly increased in strength. My goodness, this is quite if this isn't noise, it's got, you know, 115.92 kilometer winds, and then 98, 95, or 89, 95, all into this couplet here. And let's see, yeah, and it's in an interesting position, right at a bend in this particular storm. Here's the bend, and if I go like this, you can see here's the rotation, and yeah, that really kicked up. But that's over the water, so if you were on Lake Erie, certainly a water spout risk there, but I mean, that's going to move to the east, so chances of that coming ashore is going to be probably fairly low, I would think, unless maybe it just clips a Long Point there. We'll see. Might clip Long Point. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going due east? Because if it's going due east,
Yeah, I think it's gonna stay over
water. It's kind of going southeast, actually. Right? It's kind of going to the southeast. So it's probably going to stay over the water and then head over to New York State, I would think. So, yeah, we have to watch that closely. Let me just scroll back here. Yeah, that rotation is quite prevalent. I wonder if there's, I don't know if they've posted water spout potential for that or not. I would presume they're working on it.
I can check.
Pretty prevalent in marine alerts. I don't know if I can double check on the page as well, too, to see if we've posted that, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. Stephanie says, thanks, good to know. I appreciate learning.
It doesn't mention
You're very welcome.
The water spout.
Oh, okay. Anita posted 115 kilometers of wind is an F2 tornado. So to clarify, Anita, there's a few things here. First off, what we see on radar doesn't necessarily mean what's happening exactly at the surface. Radar can be 1,000 feet above the ground, scanning 1,000 feet above the ground or more. So taking a perfect, looking at a velocity couplet and trying to think that could be what it's producing at the surface is one way that some people do it, but it's typically you just say there's you can have a nuclear mesocyclone that's like the strongest you've ever seen, and then it hits a grassy field and gets rated EF0. So it doesn't necessarily perfectly correlate to tornado rating. Side note, also in Canada, we've upgraded now to the EF scale, enhanced Fujita, and I believe 130 kilometers an hour is the high end of EF1 now. So EF2 doesn't come until anything above 130, whereas the F2 scale is different, but for the enhanced Fujita scale. And I was talking to Dr. Sills about that as well, too, because the downburst was rated 130 kilometers an hour, but it was only rated, EF0 goes up to 130, I think. No, EF1, EF0. I got to double check that. No, it would be F0. Sorry. EF0 actually goes up to 130 kilometers an hour. That's right. So 130 plus
137
is EF1, right? Yeah, exactly. So, EF0 has now been increased to 130 kilometers an hour. So 115 kilometers an hour wouldn't even be, I don't even think would be an F2. I think it would, you might be thinking it would be an F1 on the old scale. No. Definitely rotation for sure over the water right now, over Lake Erie, and some pretty strong winds elsewhere as well too. So we'll have to see how that does develop. Brennan, have you the models kind of changed? I mean, there was supposed to be this really, really strong line that came in around 8 o'clock. Although I have now seen hints that might be a returning idea from the models as well too. So when you were making your forecast, I know it said this really strong line is going to come in late at like 23Z. It was like
I don't think it was late. No, this was around the time.
Oh, it was late afternoon when you were doing your runs. So you were based on 12Z and 18Z, right? So yeah. So and then 00Z started to look odd, and then the morning stuff like 06 started to say it's only going to be this one main line, and there isn't going to be a strong second line. But I have seen hints that there might still be another line of strong storms. So we'll have to see. But that would be more around like 8, 9 o'clock ish. And then the question is what kind of environment is left for it to work with. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This might be the main storm line of the day. So, and definitely that rotation over the water it's quite prevalent. Let's see if we can get another radar frame here. Oh, there has been an update. Yeah. So rotation continues. It's a little softer now. Not as strong looking, but yeah, there still could be a water spout over the water there. And then back to where people actually live. So we must have some pretty strong winds going into Kitchener right now as well, too. Brad says 681 mile per hour gate to gate shear. That must have been a typo. I would think that's like Jupiter. That's like a Jupiter tornado. Let's see here. Andrew says Adam and Brennan talking NAM, and everyone's like, huh? 18C, huh? Sorry, we're talking about different timings. We're talking about different model timings. So sorry if you glazed over there. Our apologies. We're just talking about the different data that we've been peeking at for this forecast. So yeah, definitely. Let me see here. Pizza says, Adam, are you saying there's another line of storms to form around 8? No, I'm saying there might be. I'm not saying there is. I'm saying there's potential that there could be another line. Mayhem on YouTube says, I'm ready for a blizzard. And I'm assuming you mean DQ. Let's keep scrolling here. This is odd. Amanda says, someone just posted in a group that I'm in a tornado touchdown in Windchesla and flung him around. What? What group is this? Amanda, can you share that to our reports group? It shows you're on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, please join our reports group. Everybody's well too, please. If you have not joined our group, it's almost at 130,000 folks now. It's just exploding. It's a fantastic place because if you have a report such as a tornado flinging you around, you can share that safely if it's possible. If you're in a safe place to do so, share that to our reporting group as well too, please. So facebook.com/groups/Ontario Storm Reports. Reports is the key word. We have another page called Ontario Storm Watch, and that's where we post our forecasts and all Environment Canada alerts and et cetera, et cetera. But this is our group where anybody can post, and it's called Ontario Storm Reports. So please give that group a join. And again, if you could post that, share that report to it, we'd really appreciate it. Side note, because of all the spam we get, we automatically decline any links that are posted to the page. But I think shares work. I think a Facebook share works. But if you post like a Twitter link,
maybe.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. It's a good question. It's possible. Anyways,
people were sharing stuff.
Oh, they were sharing spam. Yeah, exactly. If you have a report to share and it gets automatically declined, just hit us up on the live stream here or let us know that I shared that, it was declined. Can you please approve it? And we can just go back into the activity log and we can see any important reports like that, and we can share it. So typically we want firsthand reports from those who are actually experiencing it. But if you have a report like this where you saw in another group that someone reported a tornado, then certainly please share that to the group so everybody can see it and hit us up so that we can approve it, because obviously it might get declined. Fred says he has a site on a very low hanging cloud in Burlington. So that's interesting. Let me just take a look at radar here. I'm trying to remember if there was even a storm in Burlington. I see, just over the water.
Maybe a water
I wonder
spout?
what he's seen there. Yeah, maybe. I'm not seeing anything like rotation on radar. Nothing significant as far as rotation's concerned on radar here, but he said a low hanging cloud. So it's possible that it's scud.
True.
Sometimes you can have these false funnels, which are referred to as scud or a scud cloud. And that's possible based on the fact that I'm not seeing any rotation. Maybe King has a better view on it. Let's see here. What's going on in King? Nah, still not seeing any rotation, anything prevalent. So it's possible that it could be a little water spout over the water, but it's possible that it's also scud. Anyways, hopefully there's other folks in the area that saw that. They can clarify. If you are in the Burlington and Hamilton area, did you see anything on that storm? Okay. Someone asked about Kate says update on the Tavistock rotation. And she said warning. To clarify, it's not a warning, it's just an update from us. Only Environment Canada can post warnings, but we send out stuff like minor rotation detected. We send out our own instant updates for that type of thing. So, but to clarify, it's not an actual warning. That's only from Environment Canada. You can have a warning. So that's a good question. There's still hints of it on that line. And Dr. Stills is still fairly convinced of a QLCS tornado risk. So I would say there's still potential there. But again, we haven't seen a really strong couplet, but there is little kinks in that line that are showing. And so this Boeing line right here is still a bit of a concern along the leading edge of it right now. So we're still watching that carefully. and keeping an eye on the storms to the south. There's some pretty strong winds down here near Richmond and Seville, Seville, North Hall areas. 70, 80 kilometers, maybe 60, 70. What did that say? I think the max was actually 71. Yeah, 71.28 on radar. So that could be, it could be getting close to severe levels. Severe has to typically be 90, but look at the water spout potential now. Whoa, still going strong in that cell. So if you are south of Daytona Beach, southeast of Eagle, east of New Glasgow, there's potentially a water spout over the water there because it looks pretty strong. This has certainly weakened the Port Burwell and yeah, that Hemlock area. I'm going to take that off of the app now. So if you were to update as soon as I do this, which I haven't done yet, but if you were to update, then you would notice that has been removed. So that was Port Stanley, southeast of Port Stanley. Okay, I removed that from the app now. So if you refresh in the next, I don't know, 10 seconds or something like that, it should be gone. I'm going to look through some of these as well, too, because a few of these we might want to remove. Bothwell, tracking east towards Rodney, I'm going to get rid of because that's gone now. Let's see here. The Tavistock one I'm going to leave, even though it's obviously well east of Tavistock now. Yeah, so if you're actually in Tavistock, then that storm is well east of you now. It's anywhere that's in the path of that line as it moves to the east. There was the Melbourne one tracking east, but I think that's long gone. That's from 4:34. I'm going to scrap that. Let's see here. We have to scrap these all by hand, so that's why sometimes they get left on the app, you know, way later than they should be, where there's no storms anymore, but you still see that update on the app. Our apologies for that. We're going to build in a system where we can set the time for it to automatically be removed from the app. That would be a lot easier, but for the time being, we just have to click a delete button. And sometimes after a busy night, we're super tired and we all go to bed. We wake up in the morning and we still see a bunch of notifications that are on the app. So you folks are usually amazing at letting us know when that happens. So we appreciate that. Let's see here. Southwest of Cambridge. I'm going to get rid of that one. That's the one that just went over the water. So that was the Burlington one. That's now over the water. So, okay. I think that's pretty close to what I want to remove. All right. Back to radar. Should be getting some updates soon. I wonder, it'd be interesting to see what the latest HER runs, see what the latest model runs are actually proposing.
Yeah, I took a look earlier.
Did you see anything interesting?
No, I think this is going to be the only line.
That's the line, and then just it looks like little pop-ups after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it all kind of amalgamated into that. And then, so there actually is going to be some storms in eastern Ontario as well, too. I'm not sure if there's going to be any. I guess there's going to be a little bit of an environment over there, but it definitely hits a brick wall before it gets to Ottawa. So the storms could reach Ottawa, but the severe potential for Ottawa looks like it might be mitigated. Yeah, I think it's just going to be gusty, and but the supercell environment hits a brick wall kind of around like Bancroft to Brockville-ish and south, and so those areas seeing any tornadic potential would be pretty low on the list. But there could be some severe or borderline getting closer to severe wind gusts, maybe near Peterborough areas later on. But this is like 9, 10, 11 o'clock, so it's questionable, and it's just on the model, so that can change from run to run. Hey, what's going on? Brennan, what's going on over Georgian Bay? What the heck? You have to give your parents a call. This is classic Brennan territory from Brennan's from the Bracebridge areas. And yeah, and classic Brennan is giving me a call and telling me that there's rotation. That's how Brennan, I think that's how we first met. It's like, other than that one report you were mentioning, right? It's like you sent me a message and said, look over Georgian Bay. And I was like, okay, I'll take a peek. And then I was like, oh, and it was like a crazy, crazy strong mesocyclone. This is not as strong as what you sent me that one day. This is pretty soft. And the storm itself is pretty soft. But I noticed it from King. I noticed just a little kink there from King. And it looks like it's backed up by Brit. So probably should keep an eye on it. But I don't think there's much environment up there. Right?
No, not at all. Let me check. Yeah, not really.
No. Yeah, all the VTP, all the supercell environment, it seems to be to the south.
It's like
from what we
all
can
south
see.
of Midland. It's like not even
Yeah.
over Georgian Bay.
Ah, okay. So yeah, not much of an environment up there. What about non-sup? Is there any funnel cloud potential up there? I did see some earlier, which is usually
No.
rare because usually when you have an actual severe day, there's no like non-supercell funnel cloud potential is like gone, right? But today is an interesting day where there's kind of both, which I'm surprised to see both supercell, and then also you go to non-sub and see like little hints of non-sub, which is really rare. But anyways,
Yeah,
nothing up there, right?
there
No.
was
Yeah.
some over the Burlington area. Just
Oh,
looking
some
at it.
non-sub? Really?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe there was a little water spout or maybe a little land spout that went through that area is possible. Who knows? Oh, yeah. So I think this is probably the line, and as it tracks to the east, it's going to be the show, as we sometimes refer to. Because you can have days where there's morning storms, and then there's like a big line of severe storms, and then you can have some storms after that aren't that strong, and it's like which of the storm systems was the show, and this might be it. Which is okay. Obviously a lot of us don't want severe weather, so it's okay if this borderline severe line is the show. And yeah, so far some of the strongest winds we've seen are these 75 near Glen Meyer and Maybe's Corner, South Midland, Andy's Corner, Langton, Marston. If it continues to strengthen, then yeah, but the reflectivity is pretty
right
weak.
now all the warnings have ended.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
I
I figured as much.
Environment Canada thinks it's going to be non-severe.
I think that makes sense because it's sub-severe in overall wind gusts, and the reflectivity looks kind of messy on it. And so I'm thinking it's more of sometimes these signatures where it looks like a big strong wind signature ends up actually being a flooding risk, which happened if it was back in 2013, I think, in Toronto, where it looked like a giant mesocyclone and a giant wind signature was moving into Toronto. But actually what that signature is screaming, and based on the super heavy reflectivity, it's actually screaming flood risk. And that was that crazy flood back in 2013, I believe it was, in downtown Toronto. So yeah, so sometimes
Meso continues over Lake Erie.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is there. If this isn't producing a water spout, I would be shocked if this is not a water spout right now. South of Port Talbot, southeast of Wallacestown. This is over the water. So unless you're in a boat, this is of zero concern to you. And what's going on? New Glasgow. Just a little bit of rotational land. I wonder if it's going to maybe strengthen as it hits the water. It could be hitting this, lake breeze and as it moves into the water, it could actually strengthen. So it's possible. Let me see here. So many questions. Emily said it's really bad in Brantford from that line. Yeah, it's hitting Brantford right now. She says it's pretty intense, and I can see why. I mean, you're on the leading edge of that storm, and there's some pretty strong reflectivity, and there's some pretty gusty winds. So you kind of mix those all together. I think that QLC risk might be tapering off here because I'm not seeing any more kinks in that line, velocity-wise. I think that might be tapering off, although it's getting a lot closer to King radar. So let's actually use King from now on with this line. Yeah, there's Brantford. So yeah, I wonder if our member Cole is. I think he actually is traveling right now, so I don't think he's in Brantford. But I bet you he is probably upset because he misses every storm when he's in Brantford, and then he leaves, and all the storms show up to Brantford. So isn't it the classic how it goes? Yes. Like Brennan, all the storms go back home when you're in the city, and when you're back home, they all go through the city. Let's see here. Yeah, so mainly the strongest thing we're seeing right now is, as Brennan did mention, the severe thunderstorm warnings. You said all the severe thunderstorm warnings have ended? That's interesting.
Yep. There's still the watch.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they're basing on velocity data that Brantford's not under a warning. In the past, I've seen. I mean, it could be a flooding risk potentially with all that rain and in the concrete jungle there, but we'll see.
Moving fairly fast.
I'm
not sure how big of
Yeah.
that risk would be.
Oh, you mean the flooding risk? Yeah, you're right. When the storms are moving pretty quick, it does trim down on it, unless they all of a sudden decide to train out of nowhere. But there is precipitation in behind that main wall, of course. So there will be heavy rain for quite a bit. But you're right, it is tracking relatively fast to the east, so it's probably not too strong. But we did have a report of it's pretty intense there, so which makes sense. I mean, we also have to realize that, you know, our personal perspective on a thunderstorm can be different from what the data is showing, of course, because you're not seeing that bottom 1,000 feet. However, you know, if the radar up top is only showing sub-severe winds, what you're experiencing at the surface might actually be sub-severe. Even, I mean, sub-severe is like, it can get up to 89 kilometers an hour and still be classified as sub-severe because it's 90 and above when trees start falling. Although trees can fall in the 80s if they've already been weakened by previous storms or by, like, you know, ice storms in the winter or that type of thing. So, so yeah, it's possible some branches could come down with that one, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But we had a report earlier that it was pretty intense. Let's see here. Hold on a second here. Just going through the comments. Mark Twain says, Adam, you said a little rotation. Does that imply that a little is okay, particularly if it doesn't morph into considerable rotation? Yeah. I concur with that. A little means it's like starting to rotate. Oh, supposedly we have spammers on YouTube. Oh dear. All right.
What else is new?
What else is new? This is different though. This isn't your classic adult spammers. These are just people being silly. Let's see here. But yeah, so Mark Twain's question, absolutely. I say a little bit of rotation. Most storms do rotate to some extent, but when we start to see it really kind of come together, or in a rotation couplet, right at a kink in a storm, that's when eyebrows start to be raised. Let's see here. Okay. More spam. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, let's see. This is a good question. At what point does it change from minor to significant rotation? So when we get a new radar update, we get to see if the rotation has done one of three things. If it has weakened, if it has maintained whatever strength it had, or if it has strengthened. Brennan, north of Brantford, on King, just got a new update, and it's marginally concerning because it kind of comes back to that QLCS, right? It kind of has that a little bit of that kink. Let's see, is that
it's kind of visible on Buffalo too?
Is it? I'm gonna go minor on that one right now, because yeah, there's that little bit of that kink in there, which I don't like. So let me just go to Polygon update here. Oh, 1 second. I'll switch back to there we go. Let's go with this one.
Adult spammers are back.
Well,
I knew we missed them.
Spoke too soon. My goodness.
Oh boy.
Okay. I mean, you got to give it to them. They're relentless. So there's that.
They're dedicated. Give them that.
They're passionate. I mean, they're basically bots. So whoever programmed those bots is super passionate. I'm going to do a little bit of minor rotation up to probably about Hamilton, I think. It's just a minor. Again, most of the time we post minor, it doesn't turn into anything. But some of the time, it was very, very important that we posted minor. A good example was Barry last year. Well in advance, we posted about minor. Wow, that little polygon is 5,200 folks in it. Holy moly. Okay. Minor rotation detected on this storm near Brantford. A storm just north of Brantford, tracking east. And I'm going to go 558. So again, most of the time it turns into nothing. Some of the time, we are very, very happy that we were able to get that word out well in advance. So, it just turned to 5:59. Of course, I need like a seconds clock here so I can know exactly which minute to use. I'm going to send that to those folks right now. Okay, so sent that to those in the path. Let's jump back to radar and see the latest update. 1 second here. Yeah, so it's just that little hint. Although, I should have just said Brantford. Said north of Brantford. So I'm talking mainly about that one. Although there's other kinks in that. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's try K-Buff. Yeah, there's a little bit of. Did you just smash your mic with your drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. It's okay. We got to stay hydrated here. And there's a little kink to the south as well, too. Interesting. All right, well. Let those folks know. Again, it's probably going to turn into nothing, but the environment is still pretty strong in this area, so it's worth mentioning. Just some minor stuff. Supercell's still pretty good. And VTP's down to 1. But I think we should be getting an update. The updates are on the hour. Oh, by the way, Brennan, we're going to get... Did you know? I don't know if you heard, but pretty exciting stuff. Mesoanalysis, they're working on an experimental one. It's going to be every 15 minutes it updates. Instead of every hour, right? So we can kind of extrapolate out from where it is, follow the storm to the east. We know it's already there, but Faith Ann says minor rotation in Brantford. Yeah, so we just sent that notification out. That's what I literally just typed and sent to those to the folks in that area. So again, it's probably nothing, but this line has been a concern. Again, it's been a concern for Dr. David Sills. We certainly take his opinion strongly, knows what he's talking about for sure. Why? Folks on YouTube are... This person's going into timeout. Let's see here. Laura says, please remember that Adam is on many platforms, can't see all the comments. Posting the same thing over and over and over is spam. Please be patient. Yeah, I mean, if you ask for something and I'm not able to get to it, then, please be patient with it. We can't get to every comment all the time, but we certainly try. But most of the time, it's basically impossible. A second here. Hold on. Scrolling up. So many comments. 1 second here. Trying to get through some of them. Brennan, did you say... I think you made a lot of folks happy when you mentioned that there could be some relief from the heat. And when does that come in? Is that like basically tonight into tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely tonight into tomorrow. And then Wednesday's even colder. Wednesday.
What? Wednesday's even colder? That sounds fantastic. Last night, I had to do the garbage at like the middle of the night, and it said 22. I was like, oh, 22 out. Okay, great. And then I checked the humidity, and it said 98% humidity. And whatever the humidex was, it made it feel like it was 30 degrees out. Like 22 degrees out, and it felt like 30.
Mid-teens tonight.
There you go. That'll be a little nicer. Crack the windows. Let's go. Thank you, Stadium Property Stars. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much obliged. Thank you to all those who are sending in stars on Facebook as well too. We always appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you, Brennan, for bringing that up. Brad had a question, or Brad mentioned, he said VTP's at a 26. Okay, I see. Brad's spamming. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and remove him. That'd be fantastic. Goodbye, Brad. It almost seemed like a real question for a sec until it wasn't. Holly says, what about Bracebridge? Resident expert. Let's see here. Talking about Brennan because he's from Bracebridge. So. Let's go take a peek. Is that Mezzo even there anymore? Oh, I think it is. Yeah. There is still a Mezzo over Georgian Bay. What's happening there? And it's in the right spot. There's no environment. Is it maybe the water? Maybe the water's kind of kicking it up. Yeah, look at it on King. What the heck is happening here? To be fair, we have had times where there's zero environment and things can spin up. That does happen occasionally. It's not entirely out of the question, but that's getting towards Franceville and maybe Go Home. Classic Go Home. We've had the Go Home area get hit pretty hard by storms in the past, so it's very soft on Brit. I think that was a new radar update right there. It looks pretty soft on Brit. Like when I zoom out, it's pretty prevalent, but it's soft on Brit and there's no environment. I'm gonna go to double check because we should have new Mezzo.
It looks a lot weaker on radar scope. It might be just like the color palette.
Oh, that's possibly the case as well too. And it definitely looks weaker from Brit, and I think Brit is closer. Barely. Mm-hmm. It's barely closer to it. King and Brit, yeah. I mean, it's there. It's certainly there. This is maybe a little couplet, 91 to 29. But in a weird spot of the storm, it'd probably be more like here. Anyways, yeah. There is a 0.25 supercell environment. Like it's right on the edge of that. And there is actually VTP that goes all the way up there, but barely. It's so on the edge. It's tricky. It's tricky. That's tricky stuff. So probably nothing, but there's something going on. Looks like, did Atlanta see a report of a possible touchdown? Someone said...
No, I think that was just a tweet, someone asking if they've had any visuals on it.
No. Atlanta just posted from a group on Facebook. It says, Randy N said, tornado just touched down in my yard in Winchester. This was the report. This was that report. He says, holy crap, flung me across the yard like it was nothing. Pretty scary out there. Wow, so somebody was actually thrown by a wind gust of what he thinks was a tornado that touched down? Where's Winchester? Chelsea? Chelsea? Oh, maybe it's Chelsea. I bet you there's a lot of people giving me a hard time about the pronunciation of that. Which is fine, which I appreciate. I hope he's okay. It sounds like he's all right, but yeah, I'm just gonna double check where that is. Winchester or Winchelsea. Winchelsea. This was this is east of Grand Bend.
Report though.
I mean, it's hard to say, but
feels like trolling to me.
You think so? You think it's fake?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a sec. Somebody's spamming the channel. What the barnacle? 1 second here. I'll get rid of it. So annoying. I see. Okay. Goodbye. He's gone. Sorry, YouTube users. If you're on YouTube, you have to deal with the madness that is YouTube sometimes. That's an interesting report. I mean, if it's true, it's possible that there was a little touchdown. Alana said she shared it with Dr. Silver's great. Oh, I don't think I'm on Discord. Am I? Uh-oh, I might not be. I'm not. Okay, I'm in voice on Discord now, just in case, Alana, you need to hit us for anything. Oh, okay. No worries. It's all good. Let's see here. Zorzi says, it's okay. We strong. We are YouTube family. Aw, thanks. We appreciate it. Yes, Sylvan says, yeah, I got timed out. We did time you out because of what you said. So if you can keep it like, PG-13 or PG, that would be fantastic. We'd appreciate that. Okay. Side note, I'm going to put in the comments here. Lord of the Ginger Canadian says, LOL when fake stuff gets more attention than questions on Twitch. Yeah, we're just trying to get rid of the garbage. So, Sandy said it's not a fake report. Go to the page. He posted a picture of his tree damage. So
yeah, I saw that. It was like a tree branch.
Okay, but still, I mean,
I'm skeptical if he was thrown across his yard.
You could be tossed by a big gust. That's possible. It's not entirely out of
True.
the question. I mean, we'll see what he says. So, if there's a gust strong enough to bring a branch down, it's possible enough to, push you back across the yard for sure. Let's see here. High winds in Leamington, says Charlene. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Knight on YouTube is asking about a Discord. So we have an internal Discord right now, but we should probably open it up. Hey, Brendan, at some point in time.
Well, that's probably not a good idea.
You think that's is that a terrible idea?
Well, considering how Lana was last stream.
You know what? We have to. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that. I mean, no, we can. That can be a team chat. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a public thing. But yeah, we can. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. The moderation of it is tricky, but I think actually with Discord, it's kind of like MIRC back in the day, where you can have bots and stuff. You can have your own robots that look for spam and look for garbage and block it. So, I mean, it's something to consider. Discord is actually pretty awesome for sure. I mean, I'm on it all the time. So, let's see here. Dorsey says a members only Discord for the future subscribers, I think would be great. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting concept. I hate to disinclude anybody though. I know paywalls kind of make me cringe. We have to do them for, upgraded app features and because if we gave them for free, we would end up losing money on the app and then we'd go out of business, so that would be bad. But yeah, I mean, there could be, it could be a section for everybody, and maybe there's like, because with Discord you can have all these different channels, so there could be a section for subscribers or something. We could have a section for subscribers, but I wouldn't want to like not let folks that are following us, for free to join the Discord. I'd never ever do that for sure. Definitely, everybody can join. Thank you so much, Laura, for posting the link to the app. I appreciate that. Side note, to make life easy, if we have both. If you want the Android app, you go to android.instantweatherapp.com. That'll forward you to the Android. And if you want Apple, you go to apple.instantweatherapp.com. Both of those will forward you to the different links, by the way. Side note. Let's see here. Leanne says the app in minute or hour mode is great for answering this. Very accurate. Thank you so much, Leanne. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to figure out if you're going to see a storm or not, then then you can always check the minute or hourly product on the app. It's quite helpful. I think the minute might be even superior, but both of them work for sure. So let's take a peek and see if there's any updates on our Georgian Bay storm while we're chatting it up. Yeah, it got way softer on the latest update. So definitely not as strong as it once was. On King is still okay, but it's getting softer. So, all right, back down here to this storm. Oh, interesting. East of Brantford. Oh, what's that's not nothing. I mean, it's basically nothing, but this is like the head of the bookend vortex curling around near Langford, and you have a tiny little couplet right here. So, that's interesting. I mean, in historical review of like QLCS tornado development, sometimes that's all you get. You get this like tiny little blip that most people overlook, and yeah, I'm pretty glad actually we mentioned minor rotation on that storm. That's interesting. Let's see here. Let me just flip to a different tilt. 3, actually back down to 1. Okay. Yeah, nothing from K-Buff, but there's a lot of noise removal around that area. So, let's head back up to Go Home area. Yeah, I think we got new updates now, and that doesn't looks pretty soft. Pretty soft and over Georgian Bay. Shouldn't be a problem. Not even going to send a minor rotation on that one because it looks pretty soft. Still crazy waterspout risk over Lake Erie for sure. I mean, this looks even stronger. There's even a classic dropout of velocity here. So that's somewhat not great. We heard it's pretty windy and raining in the Leamington area, so I'm sure you appreciate the precipitation. Did Chatham Kent get missed again, or did it get some rain? You know, Bren? I hope they got something.
Well, we should find out soon.
Well, yeah, we should. Patricia will let us know. She'll let us know. She's been desperate for rain.
I think we know.
In that area. Uh-oh. Do we know? Let's find out. Let's find out. Steve asked,
Barely
what are the
anything.
most dangerous areas right now?
She's typing.
And, oh, she's typing?
Gotcha.
Most dangerous areas right now are going to be over Lake Erie, but, you know, unless you're on a boat, then you're fine. And this, basically the storm line that's moving east of Brantford and going through the Niagara regions, it does have some marginal risk to it, but it seems to be potentially weakening. So we put that minor rotation out there, but it's not even as necessarily prevalent as it once was. There's this little area that's going towards Go Home in Muskoka areas, but I don't know. It's not that exciting either. So, so this might be potentially the end of the show, quote unquote weather show, not like our live stream, but let's see here. Jennifer X says, is there actually a place called Go Home in Ontario? Yeah, there is. Go Home. It's literally the name of that place. It's pretty sweet.
I think it's actually Go Home Bay or Lake.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's a good point. So maybe they just display it like that on the map itself. So Zorzi says, sorry if I excluded it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think it's officially like an actual town.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Home Bay. I think that's what it is. Yeah. This area. They probably say I live. If you're in that area, probably like I live over in Go Home. I mean, I'm sure that's how it's referred to, but Zorzi says, sorry if I excluded anyone with what I was saying. I don't necessarily mean it's like that. Just meaning a place for everyone to communicate subscribers. Didn't mean paywall. Oh, okay, cool. No, it's all good. I appreciate that. No, and you know, obviously to be a subscriber, then that in theory, that's the paywall to be able to join that. But no, it's a great idea for sure. I think you know, it'd be cool to have, you know, a Discord where everybody can join, and then to have, you know, kind of specific channels maybe for subscribers to that type of thing. It is a fair bit of coding or maintenance or manual maintenance to, you know, be adding and removing subscribers from the Discord based on if they're still subscribed like to the app or to our text message alert. So there's a lot of logistics there, which is pretty tricky. So but yeah, it could be interesting. I mean, I'd rather just have, just like Facebook, just like Twitter, just like Twitch, you know, just have everybody in one community, whether you're able to subscribe to our services or whether you join us for free. So, you know, I think I want everybody to be included. So that's just how I am. Because that's how I'd want it from the other side. Let's see here. Oh, Sylvan. Oh, no worries. No worries. I'm glad I put you in a timeout then. Because let's see here. Oh, Vaughn says, is it Go Home Lake? LOL joking. Just like 10 people said the same thing, so I had to. Oh, okay. Go Home Lake. That's what it is. Yeah. Zorzi says, hell yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but Zorzi? I think so. Zorzi. Shelly says, wind has really picked up in Port Dover. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. One second here. So much to get through. Okay. Scrolling back to... Second. We get everybody's comments into one feed. So sometimes someone's responding to somebody else in like one of the live streams, and I have to scroll back 9 pages to find that previous comment to see the context of what they were saying.
Yeah, and it does even show us the thread.
Oh, if it showed threads, that'd be amazing. I don't even know if they can get that from... I don't even know if they can get that from the APIs, but that'd be cool. That'd be sweet if it could show threads. Yeah. I mean, it probably does that if we were like just live streaming on Facebook or something. We could probably see the threads, but that would be a lot. That'd be a lot easier, but also not as great because, you know, we want, again, we want to be inclusive.
Well, we want the YouTube spammers. We make the live stream.
Of course, we want the YouTube spammers. They make the whole live stream interesting. Let's see here. Patricia Rapper had a question, but I'm kind of confused as to what it was. And then someone was trying to answer her, which is very nice of them, but I'm confused. Anyways, if you can ask your question again, I'll try my best to get to it. But that's the one I was trying to find the thread of, which is a bit tricky. Anyways, let's go back to our app and see what the latest past and future radar shows. And I think, again, after this line moves, there is storms going into Ottawa right now, but hopefully they're non-severe. We'll go take a peek at it. But I think once this line starts to move to the east, there's probably not too much in behind it. Maybe a little bit, but not
Yeah,
too
I'm
much.
not seeing anything in Ottawa. Fairly weak. I don't even think it has any lightning.
Yeah, it's the environment over there isn't great.
No.
So it's probably just rain.
Just rain.
People like rain. Nothing wrong with rain. In fact, a lot of people need it. So that's good for them.
Especially Chatham.
Especially Chatham, yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of farmers down there that are not doing too well because they're spending a lot in their. I'm sure their water bills are ridiculous right now. But yeah, so hopefully folks get the water they need because it's dry and so hot. Last night was so hot, it was ridiculous. I can't believe it was 22, but felt like 30 when I went out to do the garbage. That was interesting. It looks like maybe the rotation over Lake Erie has actually weakened, so that's exciting. And yeah, I guess that's probably it. We kind of expected. We said like we're gonna go live, but we might only go live for a little bit because if this is the line, then that's basically it's gonna move into Niagara. It might bring with it some strong wind gusts. I think the QLC risk overall is gonna weaken. I'm actually gonna pull those all off the app. So any rotation detected. The new Glasgow one gone. The Brantford one I'm going to leave just for a couple more frames because I think it does cover that storm as it moves to the east. But overall, it's looking pretty weak. The severe wind potential from 411 should probably go. Let's see here. The Tavistock one I'm going to get rid of now finally. And you've got the
There's an interesting tweet from the Northern Tornadoes Project that was just posted. Let's bring it up.
Please.
They've received a report that a tornado passed just south of the Exeter radar with the line of storms earlier this afternoon. They said a ground drone survey team will investigate tomorrow morning.
Wow. That's interesting. I wonder if that's that place that Buddy had that report. In fact, yeah. Winchelsea, yeah, it's got to be Winchelsea, is just east of Exeter. So that's probably that report. So they're actually going to do a little survey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. Yeah, that's that report for sure. Wow. Okay. So obviously that person was confident enough to reach out to the NTP and report it to them. So, yeah. Or that might have been, that might have actually been when Alana shared that report to them. Because we have a chat with the NTP where we share them different stuff, and that might have been her sharing to them, and then maybe they also reached out to the NTP. But yeah, potentially, this could have been when Alana shared it. So yeah, so that's something. So there might have been a little touchdown actually with that one. So that's interesting. We'll see what the survey does say. But I mean, if he had a little, a little funnel come down and you might have saw what, if it was really small, it might have looked like a little dust devil going across his yard and it hit him and blew him back. I hope he's okay. If it actually did hit him, I mean, yeah, we want to make sure he's all right. So, and Sandy says, and that's the one the guy was in. Yeah, that would have been that report for sure. It's definitely the guy who said he was pushed across his lawn and a tree branch came down. Definitely that report, because that's exactly where it is. Yeah, 10 minutes from Exeter, says Sandy. That's right. Thank you so much, Sandy. Appreciate it. Thank you. Trista says Sandy Laurie might something right, but as he said, all their socials, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, YouTube, comments coming in at once. There's no way to sort them or see each thread. He just sees replies and then needs to scroll up through the pages and pages of everyone else's comments to find the original. Yeah, it's a bit tricky sometimes. So my apologies if I'm missing comments. It's that's what happens when you're live streaming on so many different platforms at once. But yeah, that's interesting. So hopefully everybody's safe in the Exeter area. If there was a touchdown there, that looks like the Northern Tornadoes Project at Western University is going to be investigating that particular report. So Emily says, I got a minor rotation detected in Binbrook. So let me go see I don't know if I pulled them all off the app yet, but let me see if I have. There still is one. That's right. So I left the one for Brantford. It's not in Brantford anymore, but that line is moving to the east. But overall, it's not looking too spectacular on that line. I'll show you it right here. Let me get the latest radar update from King. And I mean, when I see the color red there, it makes me concerned, but it's pretty disconnected. But I'm going to leave that minor. As this moves to the east, I'm just going to leave that up. Because it's just a little bit. Why does Buffalo hate me? Stop it. Velocity from Buffalo is giving me a hard time. Let's see if it comes up this time. Nope. See, 1 is going to come up, but 2 is not working. Okay. Okay.
Interestingly, the strongest environment is through like Barrie, Peterborough, Lindsay area.
But there's like no activity as far as anything strong.
Supercell.
Yeah, the strongest supercell. Oh, I see. Did it update? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's. Oh, you're right. It did actually move east. Interesting. Whoa. It's a 4, and VTP is actually a 1. VTP is a 1 in that area, and there is basically VTP is a 1 as well, kind of near St. Thomas. But those storms are already moving to the east now. So, yeah, you're right. There's kind of a little bit of environment in that area, but overall,
I think those storms that are like over Great Bruce area and into Church and Bray could go into that area.
That's true. Yeah, it's like a giant cluster, though. I mean, this is just a big, messy cluster. So, if anything was to pop out of here,
producing any lightning.
Yeah, and the storms that are even going into that area, kind of south of Kawartha Lakes, are like weakening as they move east. So, I'm skeptical about that area getting too severe. Although it's only 6:30, so we'll see. And it's actually so early that it's potential that we could see some more strong development, but pretty skeptical about the rest of the evening, especially to the east being that strong. But nevertheless, we're going to be watching radar closely. That's what we always do. No matter what's going on, somebody's got eyes on radar pretty much at all times. One of us at least, and we're all screaming at each other when something looks strong. So yeah, so that's okay. So these strong winds are still possible through Niagara and maybe through parts of the GTHA. And the rest of the storms look non-severe at this point in time. I think we're going to shut down the stream, but we'll certainly be watching radar closely, and we'll carefully watch if anything does develop as far as rotation or anything like that. So Meat Sandwich says, is there a place where potential maps can be found? So I think you're talking either about our forecast map or mesoanalysis. So if it's our forecast map, you can download our free app, which is called Instant Weather, and you can get that at instantweatherapp.com. And then we've posted the forecast map for Southern Ontario. We've highlighted a polygon around Southern Ontario, so anybody who's using the app within Southwestern, Central, GTHA, Niagara, or Eastern Ontario will see that on the app as our forecast. Brendan posted it on there.
I think I only did the severe
the Southwest. Okay, so we actually only did the Southwest. Yep. Yeah, and then if or you just jump onto our our Facebook pages would have that, or our Twitter page. So you can go to Instant Weather Ontario on Twitter, or you can go to Facebook Ontario Stormwatch or Instant Weather Ontario to see the forecast maps. But Laura says, "Hey Adam, I have share." I don't know what that is. Hold on a second. It seems like we have more spam. 1 second here. Let me try to find it. So annoying. So annoying. Maybe it already got chopped. It's possible. But anyways, so yeah, that's where to find the forecast map. But if you're looking for mesoanalysis, you want to get into those weeds, then you can just Google SPC, Storm Prediction Center, mesoanalysis. One word, mesoanalysis. Anyways, yeah. So Google that and you'll be able to find all those details there for sure. Okay, so Sue says, thanks, Adam and Brennan. I'm waiting for Brennan to respond to that, but he just went mute.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
much. It was
like
a game of chicken. Who's going to respond first?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Normally I would, but I just let you roll with that one. So, anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you kindly. Yeah, so I think we're going to shut it down for now. But if we do see anything intense, Michelle asked about Fort Erie. Yeah, there's a marginal chance you might see something severe. So definitely have your notifications on, and if anything gets posted for there, you'll get a notification that it's on the way. Yeah, so I hope everybody's staying safe. We'll see what happens with that possible touchdown near Exeter, and we'll have to go from there. So thank you so much, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.
Good night.